Let's bring in Adnan Abu Hasna, UNRWA media spokesman, who will join us now. Adnan, thank you for joining me on the show again. We've just been speaking to our reporter, Trent Murray, who's in Tel Aviv. Killings have been reported near a Gaza aid site for the third day. Why is this operation by the US-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation still in a state of chaos, and why are we still seeing bloodshed?
Yes, we have warned against that many times, and we expected, all these scenarios. Actually, when you replace 400 food distribution centers, run by UNRWA, replace them by 4 food distribution points, it's, this is what will happen. These guys who are actually running the new food distribution, points in the southern part of Gaza, they are military. They don't have experience. They don't have the technical experience. Actually, they didn't have the data. They don't have the information. They just, brought, food parcel, quantities of food parcels, throw them in the ground and telling the mass, come and pick up what had been, on the tables or in the ground. Human work, or, it will not go like that, actually. How come that you are asking people to go on food for miles and miles to get the food parcels? People are exhausted. They are very, very, very tired. What we know about the international aid work, that you go to the starving people, to the hungry people, not asking them to come. Besides that, all the time people, they want, a trustful, food provider or a trustful service provider, actually. What we have been hearing from the Israeli side, that this organization had been established because they want to push the Gaza population to the southern part of Gaza Strip, and after that, they will push them to migrate outside of Gaza. Many Israeli officials are saying that on daily basis. It's unbelievable. So people are, suspicious of what's going on, but they are under the huge need. They go there trying to get some food parcels, to get water, to get whatever, they need. But unfortunately, every day we have been seeing, the killing, and nearly we are talking about more 100 people had been killed and other hundreds had been injured since the establishment of this organization in the southern part of Gaza Strip.
An extremely desperate situation, you explain there. The United Nations is demanding an investigation into the killings, saying these civilian deaths could amount to war crimes. Is Israel, in your opinion, committing war crimes? And why isn't the UN stepping in to help more, like UNRWA?
Look, I'm not in a position to determine if it is a war crime or genocide or something like that. But we have other UN bodies. We have ICG. We have, many actual legal bodies in the UN system who can determine that. But certainly there are crimes are being committed inside the Gaza Strip, because, we have been seeing, watching actually, hundreds and hundreds of people have been killed, of innocent people. When we talk about 50,000 kids that had been, 50,000 kids had been, injured and killed inside the Gaza Strip, what they call that, if there are, of course, there are, crimes, that have been committed inside the Gaza Strip, but it needs investigation, actually. We call for international investigation, to say its final word about what's going on in Gaza. And we have The Hague, we have all bodies working on that, and we hope that they reach a conclusion on that.
And I just wanted to ask your opinion, Adnan, how does the world avert mass starvation in Gaza? You said, there's The Hague, there can be an investigation, but we know investigations take many years and people in Gaza right now are desperate. So what's the answer for these people right now?
People in Gaza, they are looking for justice. They are now talking about the double standards of how the international community approach, how they approach what's going on in Ukraine, as an example, or on other, many countries where people, we are talking now about, 10% of Gaza population had been killed, injured, or disappeared, or under the rubble, and many thousands also had been, they actually died because of, they were sick, because they suffer from cancer, kidneys failure, and so many things. So 10% of any country, if Gaza, counted 10 million, as example, we will be talking now about 1 million people that had been killed and injured inside Gaza. It is the highest number, since decades, actually. We don't hear about, after the Second World War, something like that. It never happened. But people, they still hope that there will be, a real international intervention to stop all the atrocities, to stop, the unbelievable, suffering that they are facing, on daily basis. They still hope that one day, maybe it will be very close, maybe the intervention of President Trump or the regional Arab, powers like Qatar, Egypt, and the EU, as example, are exerting huge pressure now in Israel. They hope that at the end they will succeed to get something out of that.
Adnan Abu Hasna, UNRWA media spokesperson. It's always good to have you on the show and your thoughts. Once again, thank you.